Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Chiron in the 12th house in a natal horoscope. As most of you know, Chiron is associated with the wounded healer. It represents an area in our lives where we feel wounded, figuratively speaking, and area where we have difficulty in, but we can often emphasize and accentuate very strongly with others. Now, Chiron is it's seen as a planetoid or asteroid. Depends on where you research this. It's not a planet, of course, but I perceive it, as far as its impact on the horoscope, as like a generational planet, due to the fact it traverses a sign on average between 4 to 5 years, and its significance is more in the house placement as opposed to the sign that it resides in. Well, anyway, people, first thing about Chiron in the 12th house that I look at is that this could be a person that could help those that don't have as much maybe as they do, people that are in oppression, the impoverished, the sickly, the debilitated, those that have difficulty in helping themselves. And this could be a person that can really put forth such a strong effort to help others that they may neglect their own needs. They may have difficulty addressing their own limitations and their restrictions. As I've stated in other videos about Chiron, this is often due to overcompensation, due to the fact we put so much emphasis on others in the sign and house placement that Chiron is in, that we often neglect our own needs in that particular area or sector of our lives. Now, this could be somebody that has had difficulty with restrictions and limitations, problems maybe with self-undoing due to perhaps an overly pessimistic nature. There might be self-esteem issues. This person might be in some isolated cases might have had problems with literal incarceration or imprisonment, or perhaps this person imprisons his or herself due to limitations, or I should say limiting beliefs. This could be somebody that has an ability where, I'm not saying that everyone with this placement is going to be a full-fledged psychic, but they might have certain intuitive ability and insight. This could be a person that may do well in some astrological or metaphysical capacity. I mean, you know that I do the astrology videos, obviously, and I have Chiron in the 12th house. This could be a person that shows unbridled compassion for others, and sympathy and empathy, but may not necessarily show it to themselves in areas that they need it shown to. Also, the 12th house governs hospitals. Perhaps this person might have had maybe in some cases something very debilitating, or has had maybe a number of stays in a hospital. This placement is something where the sign would obviously flavor the position as far as by house, even though I do believe that the house placement is of more significance as opposed to the sign that Chiron resides in. Now, I have Chiron in Aries in the 12th house, so this can indicate that I might encourage others to be very aggressive and assertive and forceful in addressing their own limitations, weaknesses, things that inhibit them, but at the same time I might not show all this courage in addressing things that are limiting me, or things that are inhibiting me, my restrictions, my limitations, perhaps things that are even associated with my own self-undoing, perhaps due to negative thinking regarding myself to some degree, where I shouldn't, in areas where maybe I shouldn't be thinking so negatively, which may hamper my progress to some degree in life. This is now we take it. Let's take now someone has Chiron in Scorpio in the 12th house. Now, this could be somebody that may encourage others to show emotional intensity in the matters connected with limitations and restrictions in their life. Someone that needs to somehow take, when I say manipulate, like control areas in their life where they feel they have the weaknesses and limitations, and maybe at the very least follow the lemons to lemonade motto as far as that goes, and maybe convert the weakness somehow into a strength, or at least confront their weaknesses and be able to have some control over them without the weaknesses controlling them. So I'll take one more example. Let's say that somebody has Chiron in magnanimous, generous Leo in the 12th house. Now, as most of you know, Leo is a very generous, magnanimous sign, and this could be somebody that might be able to, I guess you could say, maybe do things on a very generous or magnanimous level. Perhaps those that are less fortunate than them, perhaps people that are in oppression or in some kind of impoverished state. This could even be, in some cases, maybe some form of entertainment, such as singing or acting, or just something where they're showcasing their talents for others at a very nominal fee, or maybe doing it for free for others. But at the same time, they may not quote-unquote entertain maybe their own weaknesses and limitations, or put enough quote-unquote generosity into things that they could be doing to help themselves. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Chiron in the 12th house in the natal horoscope. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about Chiron conjunct the ascendant in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.